Bethesda finally did it. They've released an update for Fallout 3 on Steam to fix some of the crashing issues. It only took a decade and mixed reviews to get us here, but I'll take it. There are a few specific details you'll want to know about what this means for the game, so let's talk about that. Alright, so Fallout 3 just got its first update in over a decade on Steam today, and while it's small, it's a big win for anyone wanting to play Fallout 3 on PC without any tinkering or long installations of Tale of Two Wastelands. I've frequently criticized Bethesda over the years due to them not fixing Fallout 3 on Steam, and have even made numerous videos to show potential fixes. And well, now you don't need to do anything to get Fallout 3 up and running on Steam as of update 1.7.0.4, as the Steam version no longer installs Games for Windows Live dependencies. That said, Bethesda does actually recommend uninstalling and installing it to ensure the patch is applied correctly. This was one of the major causes of crashing primarily when launching the game for Fallout 3, so that means the game hasn't even been able to launch without modifications or manually installing the Games for Windows Live files for nearly a decade on Steam. In fact, the Steam update is more significant than the GOG version of the game, as that version simply used a fake xlive.dll to hide the issues. But this update completely removes the checks and calls for the Games for Windows Live.dll file. Thanks to Stewie for the info. It has also been recompiled using Visual Studio 2019. Now, I do want to note that this update doesn't resolve other issues with the game. It's still not optimized for Windows 7 and above, it doesn't have Steam achievements, it still has the stutter bug, and it will likely still crash from time to time. But I'm happy to confirm that I've played for 2 hours in one sitting so far without a single crash, all without any modifications. Launching the game, the entire vault segment, and about an hour of roaming the wasteland went off without a hitch. That was previously only achievable on my PC with heavy modifications to improve stability. So huge props to Bethesda for finally pushing out this update. I honestly thought it was never going to happen, which for some of you might beg the question, why now? Why, after all these years, did they finally patch Fallout 3 on Steam? Well, I've seen a few people suggesting it is in preparation for a Fallout 3 remake. And, well, there have been on and off rumors of a Fallout 3 remake for years at this point, and I could definitely see them wanting to fix the current version before announcing any form of remaster or remake. I genuinely just think it was because they already had the fix for the Bethesda.net version, and it was pretty much essential for them to fix the game on Steam at this point. Both the GOG and Bethesda.net versions were running fine, but the Steam version was still left to rot, which with it being the most popular platform, isn't a very good look for Bethesda. In fact, you had to look no further than the Steam page to see the steady rise of negative reviews. Either way, it's almost nothing but good news. The only unfortunate side effect of this patch is that they recompiled the executable file, which in turn has broke all mods that check for the version of the game. So Fallout 3 script extender, any engine plugins, and more are now broken and will require an update in order to use them with the updated executable, which is required to remove the checks for Games for Windows Live. That also means any mods requiring FOSE will also be unusable until that point. Thankfully, I'm not going to name the mod author, as I don't want them to be held to some sort of commitment that they never made, has suggested that they are considering making a patcher over this weekend to resolve the issue. That is, if someone doesn't beat them to it. So although it's not a commitment, it does give us hope for a quick, easy fix right around the corner in order to get our Fallout 3 mod lists back up and running. The Fallout script extender page has also been updated to acknowledge the patch, stating Bethesda has released an update labeled 1.7.0.4 on Steam. This does two things: removes Games for Windows Live and updates the compiler to Visual Studio 2019. I do not have a time frame for when FOSE can be updated to this new version. So an official update for FOSE will likely be a ways out. We don't have a time frame for it, so if you're desperately trying to jump into Fallout 3 with mods, then you'll have to use the old executable if you have a backup. Just remember that it won't have the fix for Games for Windows Live. Otherwise, wait for a patcher from a trusted source or the update for FOSE. Unfortunately, modified executables cannot be distributed by mod authors, as it is still considered piracy. So that is why something like a patcher is required. So I'll be sure to keep you all updated on when the new version of FOSE releases, if a patcher does end up getting released for Fallout 3, and if this patch leads to something bigger for Fallout 3 officially. But until then, that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please smack that like button down below, subscribe to Join the Good Fight if you haven't already, and ring that bell icon to stay updated on all of my future videos. It'd be super greatly appreciated as always. And until next time, this is Epoxy signing off.